U.S. intelligence agency mind control.
That whole peninsula. Yeah.
我希望我们能够回归以后很自由的、很自然的、很方便的能够和台湾的现在的人进行一些接触交流，然后很方便到那里去旅游，因为那里的美景也很美嘛，美食也很多，应该还没去过，但是特别期待。
我还是希望说能够正常恢复两岸的一个合作与交流，然后呢打开一个和平的一个对话，也希望说能够在我们这个祖国是同一个中国的这个认知上面，我们是达到一致的。
Delusional.
Yeah.
Who is
Shares
RFA?
of Chinese developers wobbled on Monday. Investors were worried about China's major
Radio
steps
Free
to
Asia.
stabilize its crisis-hit property sector. They feared the moves fell short of what was needed to bring a sustainable turnaround in demand and confidence. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Mainland Properties Index dropped 0.7%. It had gained around 18% so far this month, after the Politburo said in April it would work to clear housing inventory. A number of top developers saw shares drop Monday, with the likes of Al-qeada
It's so
and
bizarre.
Shimano
Radio Free Asia
each.
doing a story like
China
that.
unveiled measures Friday to facilitate up to
American
$138
propaganda
billion
makes no sense to me.
ease
Hey, they're a
mortgage rules
501c3.
Are they actually?
Yeah, they're not actually. No, their owner is U.S. Agency for Global Media. Okay, so they are government funded, private non-profit corporation.
Yeah, no, we know that Radio Free Asia is.
Yeah. I just thought I just didn't think
funded.
I didn't know if you could be a 501c3 and be government funded. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah, that is interesting.
I guess you would have to be, because anything government funded is nonprofit, really. I mean, obviously not the arms contracts and stuff. Only news is what I'm saying.
The Central Bank said it would set up a near $41.5 billion re-lending facility for state-owned enterprises. That's to help them buy
I didn't see only news.
Prices for affordable housing. The central bank expects the re-lending program would result in $69.1 billion worth of bank financing. Friday's announcement came after waves of policy support measures over the past 2 years failed to revive the sector.
The Western territory that is mainland China belongs to Taiwan.
The economy. A housing ministry publication described the latest policies as a historic moment for the industry, but many China watchers were more wary in their assessment. Analysts said the central government's decision to step in as a buyer marked an important
I hate the term China watcher.
The size of financing on offer pales compared to the estimated trillions of yuan worth of housing inventory across the country. Analysts say reviving home buyer confidence is still the key.
Is it me, or are they already tilting?
However, one market watcher warned few entities will be motivated by Friday's measures under current market conditions.
All those buildings they were filming looked a little tilted.
Many potential buyers concerned about jobs and incomes in future.
They probably are.
Friday told two very different stories on China's economy. The country's factories seem to be getting busier. Industrial output grew 6.7% on the year in April. That was up on the month before and beat analyst forecasts. It comes after earlier numbers showed exports returning to growth last month and suggests a recovery is gathering pace for manufacturers. But it's a very different outlook for the country's ailing property sector. New home prices fell at their fastest pace in over 9 years in April. They were down 0.6%.
I don't know whether that was a Chinese factory.
I mean, look at that.
That all comes despite Beijing. For 9 years, look for the country's ailing property sector.
Looks off.
New home prices fell at their fastest pace in over 9 years in April. They were down 0.6% on the month. That all comes despite Beijing's efforts to revive the sector, which accounts for about a fifth of the economy. Recent media reports suggest officials could now require local governments to buy unsold homes in a bid to stabilize the market.
Me. These buildings here that they just scrolled by, Syria flashes, you know? Because that's what it looks like, those empty, bombed-out buildings.
Yeah, because they don't have the outside shell on them yet. No glass, it's just concrete.
The crisis in the sector dates back to 2021, when watchdogs started to crack down on the massive debts racked up by some developers. A string of major property firms have since defaulted on their debts or gone under, leaving millions of homes unfinished or unsold.
Isn't it genius how they planned
Friday,
this?
a Hong Kong court adjoned a liquidation hearing for major developer
They planned the infrastructure.
To show it's making
Remember
progress
when
on
they all laughed at them because they built a monorail or a fucking subway exit to nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But they plan. They build in advance. That might be the dumbest thing Hassan has said about China. Honestly.
Yes.
Taking bold new action in a bid to revive its ailing property sector. Beijing said Friday that local governments would buy up some unsold apartments. Officials also promised forceful efforts to deliver unfinished homes. The move comes after years of turmoil in the sector. It all began in 2021, when officials started taking steps to tackle the massive debts built up by some property firms. Many major developers have since defaulted or gone under. That has left China littered with millions of unsold or unfinished homes. Previous steps to drive a rebound don't seem to have worked.
Where else?
Recent data have shown home prices, sales, and investment all continuing to tumble. Now Beijing
is this also fucking over our housing market because they did the same thing here and didn't finish a bunch of buildings?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how's your country doing?
Oh, my country's great.
Remember how we were trying to do housing for like 2 weeks, but we never got to it because it really doesn't matter. Nobody cares about Australia.
There was no detail on how long this would take or how it would be funded. Analysts note that local authorities
they're just going to make up the money.
Some $9 trillion in debt. Separately Friday, the country's central bank said it would cut mortgage interest rates and down payment requirements in a further bid to boost home buying. Markets welcomed the various announcements, with China's index of real estate stocks dumping 8% by mid-afternoon.
Are you aware of a CIA psychological profile about you, sir? Would you be interested in hearing what the CIA had to say? This secret study portrays as a brilliant but dangerous megalomaniac who is likely to pursue his own aims in disregard of U.S. interests. He's an uncertain ally. Shall I go on, or would you prefer that I stop, sir?